Hello again, this is Zengo MD. We talk a lot about the thyroid on this channel. We talk about variations and how we test it and treat it. Most providers simply don't do any testing at all until you have symptoms, or maybe until you're in your 30s or 40s. Maybe you've not had your thyroid tested in years. Maybe it's never been tested at all. Well, let's go to the whiteboard and in conjunction with practical CME medical training, show you how you can start checking your thyroid tomorrow. Located in the neck, the thyroid is a really important gland responsible for cellular metabolism and the generation of body temperature, which makes all other enzymatic reactions run more efficiently. It plays a huge role when you're feeling great, and it often contributes when you're feeling cold, tired, and sluggish. It's affected by stress, sleep, and your diet. An underperforming thyroid is commonly present when patients suffer with cold extremities, weight gain, hair loss. There are millions of people walking around fatigued and cold intolerant who have never been tested, and others who were, but maybe mistakenly called normal. Other patients have autoantibodies against their thyroid they don't even know are happening. These patients often respond to nutritional treatment or low-dose bioidentical replacement. We discuss more about this in our other videos about thyroid testing, treatment, and TSH. Moreover, having a sluggish thyroid is not a binary event, like turning a light switch on or off. It typically trends worse over years, creating more symptoms over time. It sneaks up on you. It is imperative that this condition be diagnosed as early as possible. The one thing we all agree on is that the thyroid is primarily responsible for the generation of body heat, which is measured as your core body temperature. The other system responsible for temperature rise is the sympathetic nervous system, known as the fight or flight response. It is a faster hardwired response compared to the slower but constant contribution of the thyroid and its active hormone. If we can minimize the SNS contribution, then we might be able to use body temperature as a direct indicator of thyroid function. Well, the answer is to find a situation where SNS input is minimized or even zero. Not to mention other factors like activity and eating is also minimized. And that time is when you first wake up in the morning. Not that one. That one's too stressful. There, that's a lot better. And why is this important? Because enzyme activity peaks when we're at our optimal body temperature. Anything higher, like a fever, and things don't work well. You know that already. We always check our temperature when we think we have a fever, and know that temperature is a good indicator of how our illness is progressing. But the same thing happens when we're cold. And people who are chronically running cold also feel bad. But this can happen every day for years. And I don't believe that people who just run cold all the time is ever a normal variation without further investigation. That being said, look at how our body temperature falls when we're sleeping. This classic research data was done with mercury thermometers, which are still the most accurate. And that's because our baseline metabolism is lower since the body is burning less energy, kind of like a mini hibernation. You can see from this classic work that they found that a normal wake-up temperature to be around 97.5 Fahrenheit. Therefore, if you're below this temperature consistently at wake-up, you could be hypothyroid. So check your oral temperature with an accurate thermometer as soon as you wake up. Do this for at least a week. You can certainly do it longer if you wish. If you see a variation of 1 degree, 1.0 degrees Fahrenheit from high to low, you may want to get a different thermometer to confirm that you have that much variation. If your temperature is consistently below 97.5, then you should have your thyroid blood work done to confirm. The most common blood test is TSH, which is made in the pituitary gland in response to thyroid production. Typically, when thyroxine T4 output from the thyroid falls, TSH begins to rise. But as we point out in our other videos, it has a wide range, and many symptomatic people can be caught in that range. So make sure you choose a provider that uses many different ways of assessing your thyroid function. A lot of things can interfere with wake-up body temperature, so do not check your temperature if any of the following situations are present. Only check at wake-up, and never if you're eating or physically active. If you forget to do it while in bed, then skip that day completely and recheck on another day. Skip it if you are a female, mid-cycle, and ovulating. And don't do it either if you're sleeping outside, camping, or in an overly hot or cold weather environment. And if you have fever due to illness, wait a few days since you could overestimate your thyroid function by checking your body temperature then. One factor that can falsely reduce body temperature is active low-calorie dieting, since our metabolism will adjust lower when we're consistently eating less. So go right to the blood work and confirm with temperatures once you've reached a maintenance menu. If you are taking thyroid replacement and have recently had a dose change, the temperature change may lag a few weeks behind that dose change, so wait until you have been on the new dose for at least a month. If anything on this page is present, more often than not, then consider just going straight to blood work and skip the temperatures altogether. Regardless, this simple test can give most people an early indication of how your thyroid may be doing, or help identify yourself as one of the tens of millions of people who suffer with a sluggish thyroid and don't know it. Temperatures never take the place of lab work. They should not be used alone to start or change a dose, but they can be helpful as a tiebreaker when the lab work is borderline, but hypothyroid symptoms are present. So check your wake-up temperature, because people who just run cold most of the time usually need some further thyroid evaluation, and waiting is not going to make it better. Thanks for watching. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on these other platforms for more Rethinking Medicine. Bye-bye.